Hi guys, so we're moving into week 2 of our nutrition kickstart, and this program in particular is designed for those of you who would like to focus more on muscle building than on weight loss. It's really important to re-emphasize that you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time, with a small exception of when you really start out. If you're very underweight, sometimes you can for a very short period of time, but in general you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So you shouldn't try to, and you shouldn't have a nutrition approach that tries to. Essentially, the goal, if you're losing weight, is to lose as much fat as you can while minimizing muscle loss, but accepting there will be a small amount. And if you're trying to build muscle, it's to build as much muscle as you can while minimizing fat gain, although realizing there will be a small amount. So really that's the goal. So this program, guys, is for you if you're ready to build muscle, but you will accept that there might be a little bit of fat gain during that process, but this is the program that's going to kind of set you up to make that as effective as it possibly can be. So if you've got a little bit of excess body fat around the midsection, that is your main area at the moment, this program isn't for you. If you're not quite happy about where your weight is in general, this program isn't for you. So even if you feel like, okay, you need to build some muscle, but also you do want to lose some fat, you need to go with the regular low carb bootcamp program. Okay, so just to re-emphasize, this program is only for you if you're ready to build muscle, it's your key goal, and you're not overly concerned with body fat levels. Okay, so here we go. So this is our muscle building version of the low carb bootcamp. So the aim is to provide the nutrients to build the muscle while minimizing fat, and it's to control blood sugar. We also will get a reduction in the waistline by eliminating trigger foods. And as with our regular low carb bootcamp, the thing is to immerse yourself in healthy eating, because even though if you're trying to build muscle, you can have as many calories as you want, in essence, if those calories actually lead you to feeling sluggish and lethargic and not recovering well from your workouts and all that sort of stuff, we call them displacement calories. If unhealthy calories displace healthy calories, you're not going to feel as good, you're not going to be as strong, etc. And that's going to kind of hinder your progress. So that's really important as well, to immerse into healthy eating. Essentially, guys, here's what I need you to understand of why we're doing this low carb approach, when we wouldn't normally for building muscle, but for the first couple of weeks we will. It's to do with insulin and insulin sensitivity. So most people have irregular blood sugar, and that causes high insulin levels, and that high insulin levels leads to fat storage. So in other words, the carbohydrates you're putting into the body isn't going to muscle, it's going to fat. Okay, it goes to both, but more of it is going to fat than you want. Okay, that's the problem where most people come and start off. So then we're consuming excess calories and excess carbs to build muscle, and we're training hard, but too many of those calories are causing fat storage rather than muscle building. Okay, and that's the problem. So what we want to do is get to a situation where your body's more primed. So this is what I'd call a primer. We're priming your body to minimize fat storage and maximize muscle gain through reducing the insulin levels and the blood sugar for a short period of time to get it back under control. The other side, which I talked about just a minute ago, is, the cravings lead to reduced energy because you eat the wrong foods. They displace from the healthy foods and you won't be as productive. So by doing this program, you'll reduce a lot of the cravings, so you're much more in control of your eating habits. So this is not the best long-term approach for building muscle, but it is an effective 10 to 14-day program to create an environment for the best muscle building, the primer, in other words. So expectations, guys, it's hard for 3 days. It is hard for 2 or 3 days, probably less hard for you if you are including carbohydrates, which you guys are, but it can still be challenging. So expect it to be challenging and plan for any obstacles that are in the way. After that, you will start to feel more energy, you will start to have less bloating and water retention, and you will start to notice better digestion. Because even though you are allowed carbs and encourage carbs, especially when you're working out, we still want to avoid what we call the high inflammatory carbs, so the grains, basically. Okay, so the wheat and stuff like that causes a lot of bloating. Okay, so what we'll be shredding? No grains, so that's wheat, rice, barley. The exception for you guys is rice, so I need to delete that. or any products that contain them. We're going to avoid dairy apart from butter because that's okay, and milk substitutes like almond, rice and oat milk are okay. We're going to reduce your caffeine to help with getting blood sugar under control. We're going to avoid alcohol, and actually alcohol is really does really hinder muscle building. We're going to avoid processed foods, refined sugars, and we're going to avoid any late night eating unless it's after a workout. If you work out in the evening, then for sure make sure you have a meal afterwards. If you don't work out in the evening, then try not to. So what we'll be adding, more whole foods, so more water, more sleep, because that helps with your willpower, more exercise, so aim for kind of 3 workouts per week and lots of extra activity on top. And then clean, this is the exception for this program, clean carbs on workout days. So sweet potato, rice, oats, regular potato as well. They're your clean carbs. So what you're going to eat, protein source, meat, fish and eggs, salads and vegetables, so greens, peppers, tomatoes, onions, carrots, clean starches, so sweet potato, rice, oats, potatoes, but only on workout days and ideally after workout, so not before. So if you're not training, you don't have any carbs. If you're training after the session, so lunchtime or even a meal or whatever, you have carbs. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, plenty of water, herbal teas, black coffees, smoothies, whole food drinks. So to make life simpler, if you struggle with breakfast, have smoothies. Okay, there's loads of recipes though for like egg-based breakfast and stuff like that. Batch cooked meals, so put loads of curries, chilies, casseroles. Batch cook a meal so that you've got plenty in advance. Soups, and then roasted veg, chicken and salmon. So again, you can batch cook all these things. Cook a load of chicken breasts up, cook a load of salmon, so then you've got it on hand when you need it. Have healthy snacks on hand all the time, so nuts, fruits and dried meat. And then food prep. Plan ahead for 2 or 3 days of meals. Chop your vegetables up. Make yourself some bags of chopped fruit and put them in the freezer to make smoothies in the morning. So recipes, guys, for the low carb meals, all of the recipes in our keto book are appropriate. And then from our essentials book, I've highlighted a few that kind of really work. So these are those. And then so your task for the weekend, guys, is plan some healthy recipes, stock up for the low carb boot camp, start to implement the plans to overcome the obstacles that you're going to have. So be aware of the obstacles. For example, might be family, prepare those that are around you to support you. And it might be that on certain days you prepare certain meals for the whole family. It's just maybe they have some carbs with it and you don't, okay, if you're not having a workout day. Again, it could be a little bit easier because obviously you will be having carbs, so it will be a little bit easier. But this is the best way to go about it. Okay, so there you go, guys. That is the end of the presentation. Give me a shout. Any questions? If you're not sure of anything, just let me know. Good luck with it. I encourage you to immerse yourself in it for 2 weeks because I know you will really, really get the results. And I'll speak to you soon.